So, now as I said, there may be, they come up, they're presenting so much information, beings from outer space coming down in UFOs. This all may be true because it's in the Vedic scriptures, it's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that below the earth there are powerful asuras, and just in the regions just above the earth there's the yakshas and the rakshasas and the gandharvas, and they come down to earth and go back. And they have and also throughout the universe there are these spheres of travel. This is another interesting point. They're called panta. Like there's Brahma Panta, the path to Brahmaloka. It's a path through the whole universe. And powerful mystics know how to use this path. They can go from earth to Brahmaloka like that, ascend to the cosmic sphere. And there are other pantas that are used by different demigods, different beings. The yakshas and rakshasas, they have their pantas above the earth. And that's, these rockets, when they go up in space and circle around, they're just getting situated on one of these pantas. And then they're spinning, they don't need any more power anymore, they just spin automatically around. So these demoniac scientists, they have discovered some of these things. So these pantas, and maybe they're also meeting some yakshas, rakshasas, asuras, and they take them to be, the greys and the large-nosed greys and the etc. It's not surprising. But then on the other wait, before going to the other side, I'd like to say I know I've seen books that have been written by serious people, not these wackos like Ananda, but serious people who have done investigation, and they know for a fact that American government, although they say there are no flying saucers and UFOs, they know that they're still studying this phenomena, and sometimes these things, whatever they are, they're coming down on Air Force bases where they keep nuclear missiles. This is a fact, because government records show that this is going on. But on the other side, so there is something factual, but on the other side, there's a lot of delusion, because all these people are in Maya. This is the point. There may be something going on, but those observing it, they're all in Maya. So what can they understand of it? Just like we know, if someone comes here, wants to give a class, he comes here off the street, you see, off the streets of Copenhagen, and he walks in the temple and says, "I'd like to give the Bhagavatam class." And we say, "Well, who the hell are you?" He's smelling of liquor. He's dirty. He's sinful. So you have no right to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. Because you can have no realization. Because your senses are uncontrolled. So we understand that about spiritual subject matter. But ultimately everything is spiritual. Everything has to be understood from the spiritual point of view. Otherwise it's not real. It cannot be a real understanding. So any type of phenomena, subtle material phenomena, unless one is sense-controlled, you cannot understand it properly. So all these people, they're not sense-controlled. Their minds and senses are full of ignorance, and they're seeing something, and then they speculate, and they come up with all kinds of wild theories. So this is also going on. Nobody can say with certainty what is really happening. And you see a lot of these theories of this Ananda person. I was reading the packet of information that Chiranjeev gave me. It all comes from this channeling, which is some new age thing where there's some medium and some voice. He contacts some voice, so it's supposed to be some wise person somewhere. And I read what this channeling entity is telling. First of all, it's Mayavadi philosophy. In the very beginning, they're saying, that Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna were all messengers of the one absolute. This is pure Mayavadi philosophy. And then he proceeds to tell all kinds of fantastic things about the people from outer space and what different planets they're coming from and their whole plan and the plan to take over the universe. This is all coming from channeling, this is just ghost worship. And this is another phase of Tantra. Ghost worship. Coming in contact with ghostly. There's so many different kinds of ghostly entities, and and the funny thing themselves is that these people themselves, this Ananda and all these other guys, William Cooper, whoever they are, They also say you cannot believe you cannot believe these beings from outer space, or you cannot, there's so much lying. They themselves admit this. Yes, it's a fact. The subtle plane is full of this illusion, lying, cheating. So they're coming in contact with this, and this weird information is being spread through them. So this is all illusion. It's all, as I said, leading down a blind alley. It's all useless. So, therefore, the conclusion is, we have our own path. We have our own pantha, the Gauranga pantha, the path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have our own, from the Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, our own explanation of what's going on in this world. We have our own agenda of what to do about it. We have our own solution for world problems. This is book distribution and Harinam Sankirtan and Prasadam distribution and establishment of temples, Krishna temples, everywhere, in every town and village. So we have enough to do. And we have seen, by practical experience, in the history of this Krishna consciousness movement in the West, that this is actually clearing the consciousness and bringing people to the point of real and transcendental happiness. So this is actually the solution. This is Krishna consciousness process just simply flushes out this whole mode of ignorance culture that's spread all over the world. So we should fix ourselves on this. And as far as all this other stuff, it really leads nowhere. They have no solution. The channel master says, he says the solution is to meditate on the white light. And then you'll be protected from the UFOs. All they're doing is propagating the same garbage. They can, it all comes down to the same thing, the same tantric Mayavadi nonsense. That's, they point their fingers at others and say, they're the ones, but then when they give their solution, it's the same thing. It's some phase of tantra, karma, jnana, or perverted bhakti, but it comes to the same thing. Worship the material energy, be in Maya, be a Mayavadi. And this is the fundamental disease of the Kali Yuga. So all these people are Kali-cela. They're all disciples of the personality of Kali. They're all getting their power from him. They're getting all their information from him. And the whole purpose is just to lead people further and further into darkness. And this Hare Krishna movement is the only movement on the face of the earth today. I sound like one of those guys now. The only movement on the face of the earth. Yeah, exactly. What the Christians think of when they say Satan is actually personality of Kali. But the Christians themselves are under his control. Mm-hmm.
So these 18 with Kali, they are not necessarily conscious that they are so?
No. Maybe some of them are. They say that some few people make a pact with the devil and the devil comes. Doesn't mean to see that. I don't mean to say that they meet the personality of Kali, but maybe one of his big agents or something, some big demon. So these kind of people, perhaps they're being consciously employed, but most people are not, because most people, it's simply a question that they're addicted to sense gratification. That's Kali's. That's his. That's his reward. That's his sweetener for everyone. Sense gratification. So people today are very much addicted to sense gratification, and to get this sense gratification, they come under Kali's control.